It's just categorically full. No, Biden did not take FEMA relief money to use on migrants. So FEMA regional administrators have been meeting with city officials on site to coordinate available federal support from FEMA and other federal agencies. Funding is also available through FEMA's emergency food and shelter program to eligible local governments and non-for-profit organizations upon request to support humanitarian relief for migrants.
FEMA is going to be playing a pivotal role in our shelter and services program that is poised to distribute $363 million to cities and communities in need of funding.
We do not have the funds, FEMA does not have the funds to make it through the season.
Just touched down, we were able to get on a helicopter so we could get a bird's eye view of the Lake Lear and Chimney Rock area.
This is the whole team right here for the town.
Sorry for everything that's happened. It's hard to put into words what that devastation is and what it's going to take for them to even begin to start thinking about rebuilding. It's going to be a long road ahead.
So this is the operation. We're so fortunate to be so loved by everybody. We haven't had a natural disaster like this in Western North Carolina in a very long time. So the outpouring is amazing, and as you can see, volunteers galore, and it's just, so heartfelt.
It is incredible. How far are people traveling to come here, both to help but also to get the supplies they need?
To help from all over, Florida, Michigan, the Northeast. They're driving an exorbitant amount of distance to come here. As far as a volunteer, all over South Carolina and Eastern North Carolina, Georgia.
The rebuilding here is just going to be so expensive.
Yeah.
I own the Chimney Rock Inn.
Okay.
A third of the back is missing, completely wiped out.
See where the blue styrofoam is at?
Yep.
Our apartment was right under that. Everything
Wow.
is completely. You got the mountains around, everything gets funneled in there, and so you get this raging torrent, wall of water, 20, 40 feet deep. It comes down the river, rock, mud, trees, houses, buildings, and it's just like a giant bulldozer slamming at everything. It just kind of clears it all out.
But anything you can do to keep us alive. I don't know what kind of water. We got water MREs. We got some of that stuff. We're ready for the apocalypse. We need help building this road back. We need a big retaining wall. We need the park reopened. We need this road all the way up. That's the kind of help we need.
Yeah.
We got chainsaws. We got water.
Yep.
We need structure.
Yep.
Appreciate
My
it.
best wishes.
We definitely appreciate you being here, though.
Well, that's, the smallest thing we can do is just to try to lift up your voices and your stories and what the needs really are here. Glenn, nice to meet you. Tulsi, thanks for what you guys are doing. Nice to meet you. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
It should be clear all the way down.
Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Good to see you.
We're strong. We just need help.
Hey, it's Dr. Phil, and I am out working, doing some hurricane relief and recovery, whatever you want to call it. And all these orange shirts you see around and behind me are Samaritan's Purse. And let me tell you, these guys don't have meetings to fill out forms, to plan a meeting, to get something going. They have verbs in their sentences, they have springs in their step, and they're out making things happen. FEMA, all these other people are talking, thinking. No, not Samaritan's Purse. They're out doing things. I'm in a basement right now that's filled up knee deep at one point with mud. There was water over my head, soaked through the bottom of the floor into these people's house, bucket by bucket, shovel by shovel. It's time to shovel it out, take it by caravan up these stairs and get it out of here so these people can get back to living their lives. I want to keep this message alive. This is a bubble here. People in other parts of the country are living their lives because this is out of sight, out of mind. I don't want it to be. I want to make noise. I want you to see this, hear it, feel it, know it's happening. They need us. They need our help. They need our support. And most importantly, they need to know we haven't forgotten about them. Put them in your prayers, but also put them in your behaviors and let them know that you care. So, Dr. Phil, doing the work, calling you to join me.
This helicopter Black Hawk is going to Western North Carolina. There are areas over there in the mountains are completely cut off. They need food, they need water, they need every kind of supplies you can think of.
We're distributing emergency medical supplies, food, baby food, water up into isolated communities where the roads have washed out, the bridges are gone. App State football is very important to our community. We just want to find a way to give back. And we came together with Samaritan's Purse. We're loading these helicopters right now to be delivered out to our community. Every little bit counts, and we want to do our part.
Just being out here with the Samaritan staff, I feel like it was a God-given opportunity to help out for the community.
Samaritan's Purse has just delivered us our first load of medical supplies. This is an answer to prayer for so many of our residents. We now have insulin, oxygen. These are essential supplies that's going to save the lives of our residents.
In this first 5 minutes of this video, I noticed you probably noticed a bunch of stuff. You saw people coming together, people working, trying to overcome the elements and what they've been through. But there was also probably something you didn't notice. And that was nobody from the government. Nobody. Nobody's around. Now, I want you to picture something. I want you to picture what Dr. Phil showed you. And how many people had to work on that one basement of that one house. He was showing you that they were having to hand shovel mud, probably this deep, out of that one house. And then to get it out of the house, they had to basically do it man by man, handing up a bucket to the next person, to get rid of that mud. I don't know how many people were descended upon that one house, but you could probably imagine there's 20 or so people working on that one house. One. How many people do you think it would need, these people would need to rebuild and get in, never mind rebuild, forget rebuilding. How many people do you think they would need just to dig out? Just to get to some degree of normalcy. Which houses can we save? Which houses can we not save? Can we get in here and can we fix this? Can we fix that? What kind of manpower would need to be up in those mountains right now to help these people? Well, if you said 20 people to a house, 10, 15 to a house, you're literally talking an army. You're talking probably 5,000 to 10,000 people would be needed to get in here and start cleaning this up. And that's just cleaning up the houses that remain. That doesn't count about moving the houses that are already there that are never going to come back. That's not counting the people who are feeding people and bringing supplies in. I want you to be able to, put on your math hat and just begin realizing that the enormity of this task right now. Separate it. Clean up, demolition, feeding, supplies for an area of, I don't even know how many miles. I couldn't even imagine being able to figure out how many structures, how many people need help. You would literally need an army. And we don't even have any people there. We've got people up there that haven't even heard from FEMA. Don't even know who they are. Haven't seen anybody. And yet, when you go on the news today, all you heard was, oh yeah, well, we're up there, we're doing the best we can and everything else. I shared this, I think, yesterday with a couple of people. And I shared this, and this is a text from one of Robin's cousins. Because I told you before, her entire family is up in the mountains. And one of her cousins reached out and had a tree in his house. And he needed, obviously, to see if he could salvage his house. And what could he do? Could he even get a tarp? There was no place to buy a tarp if they even removed the tree. And he said, I want you to know that Samaritan's Purse just showed up to our house. They are the first and only people we have seen come to help. Your donations are money well spent. They are the only ones that have come to help our community, including the lack of police. I haven't seen one. I shared that yesterday. It's 8:05 on Sunday evening. No word from FEMA. Nope, nobody there. Yet when I turned on the Sunday shows which I was going to show you, but I'm like, you know what? You don't need to see these people lying and lying and lying. Oh, why are you saying this when, FEMA's on the... I'm just going to let you hear from some people tonight. Some people who need the word out that, hey, listen, we're in a bad way. And I'm not just talking regular people. I'm talking, as you're going to see, a cop right here who's basically going to tell you. I played it earlier, but it was kind of lopsided, so I thought I'd play it again. And he can tell you right now how bad it is up there.
Now everyone's heard about what's going on in the western part of Carolina, eastern Tennessee, Florida, Georgia. Donate. Please donate what you can. Try to find a nonprofit to donate to, a church, local PD. A lot of those are taking donations, sheriff's departments. I know my department is running a bunch of stuff to the western part of the state to help. Donate. But please do not donate to FEMA.
I hope this guy doesn't lose his job. He was bold enough to film himself in his squad car or squad truck saying, hey, listen, FEMA is crap. Donate to the local people. I mean, who knows what kind of pressure they'll put on maybe his boss to get rid of this guy because he's out here speaking the truth.
They are hindering a lot of what people are trying to accomplish out in the western part of the state. FEMA doesn't understand that these Appalachian people are built differently. I am very familiar with them. They are not going to stand by idly and have government officials tell them what to do. FEMA's playing a game of FAFO because free men don't ask for permission. Again, please donate and help these people out. They need us now more than ever.
So much is going.
All right, so somebody asked during the chat today, what's FAFO mean? Well, the first word rhymes with duck. It rhymes with it. So duck around and find out. That's what FAO means. Duck around and find out. Just understand and just wrap your arms around this. You're talking about an area in the country where people are used to living their life according to the way they want to live their lives. They pay their taxes, they work their asses off, and they just want the government to leave them alone. They're not quite like the Amish, but you could almost consider them, Amish-like. Just leave us alone. We're mountain people. We live up here in the hills. We love it. It's beautiful. Many people have lived there their entire lives. They don't want the government telling them what to do, especially when the government comes in and treats them like poop. And I just want you to know this as you watch this and as you progress through this. Understand that almost every single household has multiple pew-pews. These aren't the people where you want a FAFO. You don't want them hungry. I mean, they're going to rely on each other. They're not going to be the ones who are going to go rip off their neighbor and stuff like that, but they're going to eat. Especially if FEMA gets up there and goes, well, we need to inventory all this stuff and we'll let you know. We'll take care of you. We're from the government. That ain't going to go too well. So there's one clip from the Sunday morning shows that I wanted to show you. And this is from the director of FEMA, Lion Witch.
Viral online as well. One user suggested yesterday that a militia should go against FEMA. Got more than 500,000 views. What kind of impact has this had on the recovery effort?
It has a tremendous impact on the comfort level of our own employees to be able to go out there, but it's...
Who gives a shit about your employees' comfort level? What an elitist thing to say. And, it gives an impact on our employees' comfort level. Comfort level? Comfort level. These are people who watch bodies float down the river. These are people who saw homes disappear. These are people who haven't eaten possibly for days and days, who don't have water, who have been trying probably to live off the land because you guys haven't been delivering anything to them. And the first thing that comes out of your mouth is, they're making my employees uncomfortable. Oh, you think they're uncomfortable now?
Also demoralizing to all of the first responders that have been out there in their communities helping.
No. So now she wants to say that they're demoralizing all of the first responders. No, you just saw one. The local first responders understand what's going on. They're not demoralized. Nope, they're not demoralized at all. In fact, all they need you to do is get the hell out the way and make sure the supplies that are coming in come in. Go out there and write some checks and do some appraisals and get out the way.
People, FEMA staff, volunteers, the private sector that are working side by side with local officials to go out and help people.
Funny, most of the people I've talked to haven't seen you side by side anybody. See, but they can go on the news in New York City or Atlanta or Washington, wherever, Slopadopoulos' studio is. You can go up there. It's very comfortable. It's not demoralizing. You can lie with impunity. No one's going to call you on it, especially not Georgie.
I need to make sure I can get the resources to where they're needed. And when you have this dangerous rhetoric like you're hearing, it creates fear in our own employees. And we need to make sure.
Lady, nobody gives a shit about your employees. And if these people are afraid because people are being pissed off and Big Bad Orange Man said something bad, then you got the wrong damn employees and you shouldn't have these DEI hires. Are you seriously going to tell me that men feel fear? Their nipples get sore or something? What the hell are you talking about they feel fear? These people are starving and dying and you're sitting here talking about your employees. How disconnected can our government be? You shouldn't even be talking about your employees. Your employees should be up 24/7. They should sleep in a cot when they need to. Do whatever you need to do. And she has spent this interview telling you how my employees, they're afraid.
Sure, we're getting help to the people who need it.
So this would be so.
Man, makes me hot. Makes me extremely hot. Watching that woman, I can't believe how obtuse could you possibly be to go on a television show and talk about your employees. Like they're the victims. Hey man, we're trying to help, but you're being mean, and that big mean guy keeps tweeting, and oh my God, that guy Elon, you should see what he said on Twitter. Ooh, my feels. Seriously? That you might not want to send them up to the mountains. I'm just saying. If their feelings got hurt because of a tweet or something that Donald Trump said, those might not be the employees that you want to send up to the mountains. I'm just saying. They may not come back. Or they may just leave. I just want y'all to think about that. Just put yourself in that position where you haven't eaten, your wife hasn't eaten, your kids haven't eaten, your dog, you don't even know where it is. Your grandma hasn't eaten. They've been eating leaves or whatever. And this woman's telling you, my employees are in fear, the danger, oh my God, of tweets and stuff. Is that what would you do if they showed up to your house? Sir, are you okay? Because please don't yell at me. You got any packages? You got any water or food? No? Then get the hell off my porch. Or what's left of my porch. This is, like the cop said, and don't F-A and F-O. These aren't the people you want to have, hair button boy heading up to someone's ranch or what's left of their ranch telling them, hi, I'm from the government, I'm really to help, but just don't yell at me. Are you really going to do that? I mean, those of you who have been to the mountains, you know what I mean. You can't send these soy drinking beta boys up into the mountains and have them tell people, please calm down. Don't be mad at me. Oh my God, what am I going to do? Oh, it's icky. It's muddy. We are in big trouble. Whatever they've done to the government, I don't know how, when Trump gets elected, he's going to fix this. It's deep entrenched with nothing but soy and cockroaches and corruption to the point where they can't even mobilize because they're afraid of the danger they might face up in the mountains. Those aren't people coming to save you. Those aren't the people that you're feeling good about. Come on, yeah, let's do this. Let's get this mud and muck out of the... Where'd you go, man? I need a break. Oh, think I'm lying? Well, today we find out that some of the FEMA people complained because they had to work the weekend. Basically they checked out yesterday or Friday at 5 p.m. and nobody's seen them because we don't work weekends. I kid you not. I kid you not. That's what hit today, where people were looking for FEMA people, and they're like, yeah, I don't work Saturdays and Sundays. I'll see you tomorrow. Our government is screwed. Our government is FUBAR. If you don't know what FUBAR, go ahead and look that up. Right now, we need the government's help, and the government can't do it. And on top of that, they won't bring in actual men, women, soldiers that are willing to get dirty and get the stuff fixed up. Further proof. Listen to this young lady who lives up there.
It was super cool if that was true, but it's not. It's actually the point of why I made that video. Local news is saying 60, 70 dead in our county, but if you walk up to any first responder or law enforcement officer and say, is there any update on the death toll? I don't even want to say the number, because I've done it. And so is every other local here, because we're genuinely concerned and have been fed up with our local news for not covering it the way that they should.
Local? How about national? How many times have you heard, oh, there's only just 200 people. 200 people are dead so far. And every time you talk to somebody who lives up there, and they're like, not even close. We all know. They all know. They're walking around. They're seeing the dead piled up. They're watching them being taken to fake makeshift facilities.
There are hundreds and hundreds dead. And there are some places that they've not even started searching for the bodies because the mudslides are too thick to get through.
I said that last week, a couple days ago. I'm like, if you've never seen a mudslide and the mud can be like 6-7 feet deep, you can't even begin searching until you start digging. So how do you know who's dead? It's smelling mighty good up there too, probably right about now.
There are some houses that are still buried under the river. They have ordered cold trailers to our town to keep the bodies. Does that sound like 200 bodies to you? Does that sound like 200 bodies? We're not some tiny little town. Asheville has a large hospital and multiple morgues. So I will say it again, and I will continue to say it. There are hundreds and hundreds dead, and there are thousands missing. If you want to believe one little man behind a screen with a microphone instead of believing our entire community, please feel free to do so. You're not here, you're not helping.
That young lady said more than any of the newscasts that you're watching every single night. Hopefully not watching. They have just basically shut these people off, and that's also why they're pissed off with Elon Musk. You know, they figured these people don't have any communication. There's no way for them to take pictures or post videos or do anything. They can't go on TikTok. Oh, so they're done. And Trump talks to Elon. Elon drops a bunch of Starlinks in there. Ivanka, she goes and starts transporting them with her jet. By the way, they don't show that on television either. She's not going to make a whole lot of noise. But did you know that Ivanka was one of the people delivering these Starlinks? Let me see if I can find that picture. I don't even know if I... because they haven't talked about it. Ivanka Starlink. In her jet. Her little cute little jet. Oh, yeah, here we go. See that blonde back there with the sunglasses? Oh, that blonde back there with the sunglasses? That's none other than Ivanka Trump. Right there. And she's delivering Starlink. Every one of those boxes is a Starlink. And that's her jet. And there she is standing there. I'm sure you probably haven't seen this on the news, have you? Haven't seen Ivanka Trump actually out there with the Cajun Navy delivering Starlink. They don't tell you about that. I'll pause there because I just wonder how many of y'all even knew that she was taking her jet. And I didn't even know she had her own personal jet, but it makes sense. Her nice little cute jet and flying Starlink. Wasn't it Georgia had thousands of black grave liners during Obama? Yeah, exactly. The Trumps are humanitarians. Absolutely. You're right. Yeah, Kamala is delivering pain and suffering and going on porn podcasts. While this was all happening, she went to a fundraiser, as you know, and also did an interview on a porn-style podcast. Yeah, way to go, Ivanka. Yeah, these are the type of things where people don't really talk about it. They just do it. Just get up there and do it. Here's someone who's got all the money in the world, don't need it, lives in a gazillion-dollar property down here in Miami. Beautiful property. There's no reason she has to leave her comfy home and her comfy life to go deliver Starlinks that Elon sent up there. But she did. Doesn't need the news. Not going to tell anybody. Just going to do it. People need it. This is the government our founders warned us about. Absolutely. Mainstream media, enemy of the people. Yeah. Somebody asked, isn't Fort Bragg close to Asheville? Depends on what you determine as close. Fort Bragg, which they've redubbed Fort Liberty, is in Fayetteville, which is on the east side of the state. This is Western Carolina, up in the mountains. So it's by car it's a couple hours. By jet or C-130, if they could land one in there, it's probably less than an hour. So it's not that far per se in terms of being able to get there, depending how they would fly. Let's see. Where's Tay-Tay with her private jets? Yeah, good point. Where's Tyler? Not Tyler. Taylor Swift with her private jets? Nope. George Clooney? Nope. Obama? Nope. Nothing. Nothing at all. They're just nowhere around. Trump has wonderful children. Yeah. Fayetteville. Ashley, how far is Fayetteville from Asheville? Roughly 6 hours by car. But so you can probably get there in a 2-hour stint, probably. Yeah, you can. Am I serious about? Yeah, Kamala went on a podcast, and the podcast is called "Call Me Daddy." And in that podcast, they were talking about the best way to do fellatio. Is that, yeah? Can I say that word? Yeah, that's scientific enough. How to do fellatio correctly. Tua. That's what they're known for, talking about different things. Call Me Daddy. That's where she decided to go on. Tomorrow she's going on Howard Stern. And then she's going to go on Stephen Colbert. She got out of Asheville as fast as she could possibly get out. I got to get out of here, man. This is dirty and stinky and icky and dead people. I can't be up here. Not with my $70,000 necklace. Ashley, who used to live in Fayetteville, says it's about 5 hours. That's by driving time. So, in any event, if they were going to do a convoy, they could get there in about 5 or 6 hours. If they're going to fly and they had someplace to land, they could get there in a much shorter time. Speaking of people in the military, here's somebody who's actually been in the military.
Hey guys, so I know I do a lot of fun and happy videos or whatever all the time, but so I'm here in Boone, North Carolina. I'm at the staging area. I volunteered myself and my canines to come up and do some search and rescue efforts. Here's the situation. Okay.
All right, so here's a woman who was in the Coast Guard. She has military training, and right now she has canine units, canines that can go in and sniff out corpses.
Okay. FEMA is in the area, and we've been told that if we see any FEMA agents, hightail it and go. So, obviously you see all my equipment. So we've been told to just turn around and go the opposite direction, because what they're doing is they're confiscating everything. They would.
Oh, that's not happening. Why are these people with all this disinformation and misinformation? What do you mean people are confiscating stuff? Well, the people who are there are telling you they're confiscating stuff. But, George Slopadopoulos didn't tell me, and Jake Tapper didn't say it, and, Jen Psaki, they're saying you're lying. What? Has Jen Psaki, George, or Jake Tapper spoken to the people who actually live there?
confiscate all of my gear, my car, my dogs, like literally everything. There are some people who have been tracking these FEMA agents and what they do with these supplies after, and these are people that are directly associated with the group that I'm volunteering with.
All right. So if you weren't pissed off in this first 30 minutes, you're about to get really pissed off, because this is firsthand coming from somebody who is trying to work in the area.
And essentially what they're doing is they're taking these supplies to sanctuary areas for illegal migrants and giving it all to them.
Your government is taking supplies and stuff that people have sent there out of their pockets, out of their closets, out of their pantries. And FEMA's like, you know what? There's some newcomers that could really use this. There's some newcomers that are more deserving than these Americans up here. These white Americans, they'll be okay. They'll get over it. But, you know, these poor newcomers, they need stuff. They need stuff. We need to take care of them. Boy, I'm telling you, if I saw that and I lived up there, there'd be hell to pay. And I know some good old boys already did the job with one or two FEMA agents, which wasn't pretty hard to do, because I'm sure the soy boys acquiesced very quickly when they were confronted. That's why if you're sending stuff up there, you don't have to use Samaritan's Purse like I am. But make sure you're getting it in the hands of someone who's actually going to disperse this to the people who are on the ground. Don't send it to FEMA. Just don't do it.
They are telling the locals here that they have no more money, that they can't give them any money, they can't do anything, but they are confiscating volunteer supplies as they come through, and they are giving it to people who are not legal within.
So when the news tells you that this is disinformation, misinformation, but they never say why, except for the fact that FEMA told them otherwise. Because if you're on one of these Sunday talk shows and then, like, you heard the lady from FEMA, the lady from FEMA says her people are afraid and, you know, they don't know what to do. I'd be afraid if I was confiscating stuff as well. I would be afraid to confront some people who had their homes washed away and are looking to see, how am I going to eat? What do I need to do to get some money to fix my property? Get roof over my family's head? And if you are telling me the only thing you can do is fill out this paperwork, oh, you forgot page 3, and come back to us in 5 or 6 days. But what about, you know, I can see the cases of water, and I can see, you know, canned goods and everything. Yeah, but, you know, we have to make sure we understand who you are, get your ID. I thought you were the people who didn't care about IDs. I'm pretty sure you are the people who said IDs aren't needed for voting, but I gotta give you an ID to tell you who I am so that I can get some blankets. It's bad. It's really, really bad. And they don't expect that anyone is going to show you this compilation of people who actually live there. And what makes it worse to me, are you saying all these people are lying? These people don't know each other. It's not like Trump put together some, you know, coconut telegraph and said, say all this bad stuff about FEMA. These are people trying to live their lives. You could easily verify it. Hey, Miss Redhead, where are you from? What do you do? What have you seen? They never put her on the air, because when she tells them what she's seen, they'll lose their crap. Hit the button like they did to me yesterday.
The country. Of course it is very hush-hush. Of course they're saying that that's not what they're doing. I will tell you this. I was 11 years in the Coast Guard. I was in Puerto Rico before and during Maria and Irma. I was stationed there through all of that stuff. FEMA did the same stuff there.
And there's proof of that. There's people in Puerto Rico who found out the storage units where they were hiding stuff and broke in. It's like, what? And it was just pallets and pallets full of stuff that they hadn't given out yet because you didn't qualify. You didn't fill out page 4, section 6.
To the point where the Coast Guard, we did not work directly with FEMA because they were doing shady stuff. So we ended up loading a bunch of supplies and stuff and taking it around the island and delivering it. And we did the same thing after the earthquakes as well. They were confiscating supplies. They weren't issuing supplies. They mishandled money. They mishandled distribution of supplies.
No, they didn't mishandle anything. See, that's where I think people give the government too much credit. Oh, they messed up. They did a mistake. They mishandled some cash. Ain't nobody mishandling anything. They know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly the corruption that they're going to do when they go to a chaos-ridden catastrophe. We're from the government. We just want to help.
And the locals suffered for it. And they are doing the same thing in North Carolina. This is not a joke. This is not a conspiracy theory. Like, this is not false information.
See, conspiracy theory, as I've told you, my Webster's definition has been amended. My Webster's definition is a conspiracy theory is basically something you just don't know about yet. See, I can call you a conspiracy theory if you don't have anybody telling you what's really going on. Oh, you're just making that up. No. There's only 200 people dead. That's it. There's 200 people dead. And FEMA's on the ground and they're kicking some butt. And for you to say otherwise means you're a conspiracy theorist. Because, you're a purveyor of misinformation or disinformation, whatever the difference between the two may be. And as Hillary Clinton has says, we need to stop these people that are basically disseminating information we don't want you to have. Hey, I don't care if it's true or not. I just don't want you to know about it. But the thing that they're having a problem with social media, and specifically Twitter/X, is because people like this redhead are telling you exactly what's going on. And they can't have that with this government.
Like, I'm here, I'm boots on the ground. We are actually about to go and fly into a different area via helicopter. We're going to go to the airport, load up the dogs, and we're going to fly into a different area where families are missing. But
I can't even imagine that job. The job of taking dogs to go smell bodies. Just think about that. You're about to do a job where your one objective is to find dead people. What kind of mentality and steely emotion do you have to have before you get out of the van, before you get out of the helicopter and go, okay, let's do this. I'm gonna go find some dead people. And I know I have to do this. This is what I've been trained to do. That's what these dogs have been trained to do. And this is what I have to do to help bring closure to somebody's life. Somebody who's missing a mother, a father, a sister, a brother. They're depending upon me and this animal to go find the remains of their loved one. And FEMA's telling these people, get out.
Initial meetup point was the Boone area. As far as families missing and stuff, right now Boone is clear. So we've been given new coordinates to go to a different area. But yes, FEMA is here and they are doing really, really sketchy, shady stuff.
And when you think about it, doing really shady stuff, who's FEMA's boss? FEMA reports up to Mayorkas, who is the king of corruption. How did they give this one man so much power? He's in charge of disaster relief. He's in charge of the border. He's in charge of Homeland Security. How you can't do any of those jobs, and yet you're the one from Washington basically having people report back to you.
Take that information for what you will. This is this information that needs to get out to the news media. This is the information that needs to get out. And honestly, if FEMA is not going to do their job, and I'm not saying that all of the FEMA agents, because I know a lot of canine handlers that are part of FEMA that are doing what they're supposed to be doing. However, why are we confiscating supplies? Why are we taking supplies from people that are coming in to help? And
if she's waiting for the news reporters to contact her, oh, let me just tell you, it ain't happening. Ain't nobody gonna call you and talk to you about what you just said. So when you're saying get this out to the news media, ain't nobody calling you. This will never see the light of day on any major newscast. I don't think it'd even get out there on Fox. There's no way this sees the light of day. Not a chance. Except for like here and other people on Twitter and other people on YouTube who want to bring you what's really going on. Not how to get better at fellatio.
and have experience and can do the job, and then giving it to illegals and not giving it to the people who have been affected. That is my biggest issue with this whole situation.
Hey, buddy.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. What's with the piano music with the woman? She was playing her radio or something. Hopefully I don't get dinged for that. But that was these people aren't producers. Let me just tell you about that. Okay, so this comment says, what's with the piano music with the woman's podcast? It's not a podcast. She's a canine officer with the Coast Guard to find dead bodies. She's sitting in a car, her radio's playing. She's not producing a podcast. She's sitting there and she's like, you know what? Let me tell everybody what's going on. And she picks up her phone and starts recording. This isn't someone looking to get views and clicks. She wants to get the word out. And unfortunately for her, that's never going to happen. Let's see, the whole is, what's this, Majorca, I'm a firefighter, okay, I am a firefighter deployed to Western North Carolina. There are over 400 dead in Buncombe County alone. See, people like Maddie here, people on the ground will tell you the real story as to what's going on. And they'll also tell you what parts aren't true. It's very simple. If you're talking to people like Maddie here, who's a firefighter in Western North Carolina, he can tell you what he's seeing. For some reason, the news media is trying to make this out like it's a fantasy, conspiracy theorist. It means nothing. Absolutely nuts. Listen to this.
I'm happy that you're coming in here saying.
Thank you for let's go to Hall Springs. I'm a man.
We can do this tonight. You've seen them turning people away though?
Yeah. They've turned people away for the last 2 days. 2 days they've turned trucks and trucks and trucks.
That's where Jackie had to come back full.
We just seen water come back down here where they.
This guy looked like he might be an actor to you. Like he's been hired, a paid shill for Trump or somebody to say this? Or does this guy look like a guy who lives up there who's dealing with this and somebody else is talking to him and he's like, man, they're turning it away.
Just turned them around, told them no.
Yeah, we just seen 2 trailer loads of water take that left.
Where y'all from?
Alabama. Everybody else.
North Carolina, Pennsylvania.
I work. Yeah, you got them all over the country.
That's
right here. Give me a minute.
All right, so I'm extremely pissed off, and I don't know how
For those of you worried about music, here's some more. Okay.
how exactly to feel about this, because the devastation from Hurricane Helene has been catastrophic. Our mountains, North Carolina mountains, Western North Carolina, is never going to be the same. But in addition to that, the news media, the outlets are not reporting any of this crap accurately. They're only saying the death toll is up to 200 right now. Like, that's not accurate at all. So just the other day, firsthand accounts have put the casualties in one hospital not being used as a medical facility at over 900 unidentified bodies. Over 900 in just one facility, and they are still doing recoveries every single day. Why are they downplaying this event?
All right, I'm here at the McDonald's in...
$1 million question. Each of us may have our ideas. Every single one of you in the chat may have it in your idea as well. But why would they be? What does it serve other than to make it seem like Kamala and Dementia Joe didn't do as bad a job as they really did? That could be the entirety of the reason, telling you only 200 people have passed away. Not going to scare people. We can see the devastation. Like when this lady's talking here and she's showing just some of the devastation. You've seen some of the pictures. You can look at that and go, yeah, I could see lots of people probably passed away. Remember, this didn't take any notice. There were people sitting in their houses, and all of a sudden the water came rushing down the hill. And that one lady I showed you a couple of days ago, she had to jump into the river because her house started shaking. It was going to get taken away. She had a life jacket on, put her dog and cat in a knapsack, and jumped in. Hopefully somebody down the water would be able to grab her. These people didn't make this stuff up. I mean, look at this devastation.
Biltmore Village. This is up by Asheville, and you can see the dining room of this McDonald's has been turned into a total mud pit with debris all over the place. The sign was destroyed, the windows destroyed, the drive-through destroyed as well. Look, there's the order marker that once would go on the table to let people know where to bring the orders to, and this place has totally been leveled by Hurricane Helene. There is massive cleanup operations ongoing throughout this town. There's no power. Schools are closed indefinitely. And look at this. I'm wrapped up recording this video in some sort of a wire that I'm afraid is going to hurt me, so I need to get out of that. But yeah, this is the parking lot lights.
Yet FEMA wants you to fill out a 4 or 5 page application, tell us where you are, how we're going to get the money to you. We'll go ahead and put it in your bank account if we approve you, which they're not doing that either. And there's no electricity. There's no banks. There's no commerce. It's done. What are you going to give me?
Totally gone. It's a devastating scene here in western North Carolina, and will be a long, long time before things return back to normal. The town's just filled with mud. Cleanup operations are ongoing, but unclear, just how long it's going to take. I mean, this used to be the sidewalk, and this goes for block after block after block. Definitely be sending your prayers and any resources you can here to western North Carolina.
So the more I'm looking into this whole situation.
So this young lady, again, she finds a way to get the word out. As you're seeing, these people are saying, here's what's going on up here. We're not paid actors. This is really happening where I live.
The worse it's getting. We really need to talk about what's happening in North Carolina specifically. I don't know if this is happening in other areas. I've only heard about North Carolina. My mom lives in North Carolina. She's not too far away from what happened. She lost power for about 4 days, but everything is fine. Their roads were fine. But there are areas where that's not the case. Right now in particular, Chimney Rock has been told that their entire town is federal property now. They can't even go back to their homes. Their body.
Now that's a rumor, if true, is nefarious. No one's really confirming this stuff, but I'm hearing it from more and more people that the federal government is taking this property. Under what legal statute would they have, from a federal perspective, to walk in and say, yeah, we now own this now? I do not know if that's true. I'm not even going to speculate, but I think that's something that the media should hone in on. Maybe Glenn Beck, maybe some of these guys who have access and can really understand. Is that really happening? Is our government basically eminent domaining these properties and taking them and just bulldozering everything just to get it clear? I want to know that.
That are laying in the water. There are bodies that are laying under trees and in the debris, and they can't get to their family members. The federal government has said that land and all of those bodies are now federal property.
The guy that was a firefighter in here, let me know if you're seeing that, if this is true. I'd love to know that.
The federal government is not wanting to identify any of the bodies. They're just wanting to bulldoze over it and not even count how many people this natural disaster, if you want to call it that, has caused. Furthermore, people who are trapped.
Notice how she said that. This natural disaster, if that's what you want to call it. Because with what's about to hit Florida here and what went up there, a lot of people are now starting to talk about HAARP. HAARP. I'm not going to talk about it because that's probably third rail stuff here. Maybe we can talk about it on Twitter, or X rather. But this HARP stuff is starting to bubble up. And a lot of people are looking side-eye at some of this stuff. Even me. I don't know, but I've never seen a hurricane on the western side of the Gulf of Mexico turn into a hurricane and then shoot across towards the east side. Never seen it. I've seen hurricanes come up through the Caribbean and then up into the Gulf and then turn around. Seen that many times. Never seen something off the coast of Texas just turn into a hurricane and take a beeline over to Florida. I've been living down here 30 years. Never seen it. Everyone I'm talking to says, no, I've never seen that. I've never seen a hurricane birth on the western side of the Gulf of Mexico and shoot across towards Florida. Never seen it. Nobody's ever seen it. It's absolutely stunning that people are talking about it and going, what the hell? How did that happen? That couldn't possibly happen. Crazy. Vice President doing a porn interview. Joe Biden can't remember there was a storm. Absentee military government agencies. Ask yourself, what is the desired outcome from the government? See, now you're getting into real tinfoil hat stuff there. You're not allowed to ask these questions. You're not allowed to ask, hey, why haven't you mobilized the 82nd Airborne out of Fayetteville? They're right there. Why are there trailers and trucks sitting in Selma, Alabama? They're right there. Why is there not a complete, overwhelming amount of help and services and manpower descending upon Western North Carolina? These are all the questions that somebody should be answering. But we get nothing. And then we get told by the news, oh, you're making it up. Oh, it's disinformation and misinformation. Somebody said something that moved pretty quick. Says, tell me how, oh, there it is. Tell me how you fled a mountain. Well, the mountains are high and there's water coming down and what do I have in my eye? It's understandable there could be a flood, not like a flood. Take out the entire area. Nobody's seen anything like it. Nobody has seen anything like it. It makes no sense whatsoever. It reminds me of another Stick song. Sometimes it makes no sense. Makes no sense at all. I heard the 101st Airborne was going to Western North Carolina. Yeah, maybe if that's true, it's a week late. By the way, all metal investors, tin is used in just about everything. God is exposing these monsters. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't. At this point, that's where I think politically they get desperate because now they can't put a lid on everything that's happening, and they're probably just screaming to themselves because, Elon sent up there a bunch of Starlinks so everybody can get back online and tell people what's going on. Let's continue.
Often who are getting shipments of supplies. There was a pastor that was going door to door handing out water, and the request changed from water to body bags. They need body bags, and the feds aren't picking up the bodies. They're literally leaving them to rot.
General Michael Flynn did a podcast with Benny Johnson the other day, did an interview, and he's like, they're going to need thousands of body bags. I'm pretty sure General Flynn's getting some real inside information. Much more than the media.
So just imagine for a second, you have lost everything, literally everything. You have no food, you have no water, and your family member who perished is literally rotting beside you.
That hurts. That hurts how she said that.
And there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing that the federal government is doing about it. You can't even get a body bag to put your family member in so that the stench stops spreading. Like, how is this America? How is this America?
It's not. They've completely changed America. Remember when Obama was like, we're going to transform America? And when Kamala saying the same thing, we're going to transform America. What they meant was, we're going to destroy America. We're going to make you live a third world life and let these newcomers live, an American life. Because you white people, you don't really matter. I'm sorry, you don't matter.
There are people who have been without food and water for 6 days. The 82nd National Guard has been begging to go in and help these people, and the federal government has told them to stand down. Something evil is going on in the mountains, and we really need to talk about it. We need to put pressure on Washington to get our people the help that they need before it's too late.
Asheville is horrendous. It looks like...
All right, so this lady, another local, you can hear in her voice, she's got the accent, you know she's from there, not a paid actor. And she can barely contain herself with what she has seen. Listen to this.
A freaking bomb got set off over there, especially where Biltmore is. If you're headed towards Hendersonville, that whole area looks like a bomb has been set off. But guys, that's not what needs to be covered. I need this video to go viral. I need you all to share this. Share it and tag and share and tag. Get this out. I need this to reach as far west. People, we have communities. We have people in these Appalachian Mountains right now. Right here in these Appalachian Mountains, we have brothers and sisters that are stuck, that are trapped. It has been 7 days. 7 days since Hurricane Helene hit the United States. We've got people trapped in these mountains. And people are asking where our military is. Our military can't do anything until the leader of this stupid country right now signs off on it. So,
why did they wait? Somebody mentioned that the 101st is coming. Why 7 days later? What were you waiting for? As I showed you with the Dr. Phil thing. I mean, think about that. Go back and remember that. Because it's very hard for people to put their arms around it. You're having to truck mud out of a basement by hand and then pass the buckets up. And as I said to you, how many people you need just to do that one house? That one house in that one city. And then multiply that times, I don't know, 5,000 houses? Unless we're sending 20, 30,000 soldiers up there, it ain't gonna happen. There's just no way. The devastation is too big. Way too big.
our military is stuck. They cannot put boots on the ground. They cannot hike these Appalachian Mountains. They cannot rescue these people that are in these mountains that are stuck. They can't get to them. They can't do anything. Our military can't do anything because they will not sign the orders to release them. It is up to us, American people, and we are doing everything we can. We got hit in Greene County. Our riverbank is gone. Houses are gone. I need y'all to understand, outside of these Appalachian Mountains, the news are not covering it. They're not telling what it's like. The county above us, Unicoi County, is the county you've seen all over the news where the people were on top of the hospital that had to be rescued. You saw how much water they had. That water came down to Greene County. You all have saw Newport, Cott County. Dolly was there yesterday. Dolly Parton. That's where she done her press conference where she's donating $2 million.
See, these people aren't paid actors. They're not that good. The emotion coming out of this woman, she can't even contain herself to make a video. They're seeing it firsthand and going, why is nobody helping me? I have watched the news for years and I understand you're shipping gazillions over to this country. And then to find out yesterday, they shipped over $157 million to Lebanon. $157 million went to Lebanon yesterday. Meanwhile, this woman and people she knows are up there trying to figure out how they're going to get through the next 2 days, the next 3 days.
$1 million out of her pocketbook and $1 million out of her donation, or out of her fund. Guys, East Tennessee and Western North Carolina is 1,000 times worse than the news has made it out to be. There is people, I need y'all to understand, especially coastal states. You all that live in a state that is surrounded by the ocean, that it connects to the ocean, when you get hit with a hurricane, yours involves an ocean. That ocean comes in, it floods you, but it sucks back out.
She's right.
You're still left with your buildings. You're still left with your homes to be able to go in and see if you can salvage anything. Okay?
Down here in Florida, those of you who may have lived here, the intercoastal, you've got the ocean, which is obviously all the way east. Then you have the barrier island, which is people who live on the island between the intercoastal and the ocean. Then you have the intercoastal, which is a in some places 50, 100 feet wide barrier of water. And so it acts as a natural barrier. So if water comes flying over the ocean and it swamps A1A, it still has to make its way into the intercoastal. And at that point, when it gets into the intercoastal, before it floods too much, they open the gates. When I say gates, giant gates, and they flood the water out into the Everglades so that it doesn't flood the entire town. When it rains hard, yeah, you're going to get a little bit of flooding, but like she said, it's temporary. We all seen it. We've driven through it. We'll watch. There are certain areas in Oakland Park and Miami that will flood this weekend or this coming week because of the rain. And then it'll just dissipate. It'll go down. We all know, just get ready for it. It's going to flood. Don't go downtown because of the way it's built. But as of yet, knock on wood, we have not seen any sort of tidal wave that has come over the barrier island and into the intercoastal and then washed out everything on the other side of the intercoastal. It doesn't happen. The intercoastal is wide and it's deep, and there are specifically gates that they can open to channel that water out into the Everglades. So she's absolutely right. You guys have seen hurricanes. You guys have weathered it. Yeah, it ain't like that up here. We got people who just got decimated. It's gone.
We're left with that. These people aren't left with that. These people don't even have a structure to go back to see if they can save anything. These people don't have anything to go back to look at. It is a concrete slab, and it's here, and it's in Unicoi, and it's in Cook County, and it's across that state line in North Carolina, and I'm going to tell you now, North Carolina is so much worse than anywhere. Those mountain towns, you've got to understand people live off grid for a reason. They want to keep talking about the death toll. They want to keep comparing this hurricane to Katrina and the death toll. I'm here to tell you now, and I've told other people, and I've talked to news stations, and I'm telling you, this death toll will blow Katrina out of the water.
She ain't ever getting a call from the news. Oh no, we can't show this. We can't show this over-emotional woman who's seen all this stuff. We can't have her talking about that. Oh, okay, let's turn to, there was a fire on 5th Street this afternoon, but there was a one-alarm fire. This is the biggest story in news. The biggest story. There should be nothing else on television 24/7 like they did with the Jabademic. The Jabademic was on constantly. They were interviewing every single doctor in every single hospital and every single nurse, and you don't see shit about this. They're not up in Asheville talking to people who are in HVAC. They're not even talking to people like Samaritan's Purse. They're just ignoring it. They're just going on television and with the FEMA director saying, Trump's talking dangerous rhetoric. Our people are in fear. Fear? You're seeing fear. You're seeing what fear really is. Terrified of what they've seen. Be ashamed of yourselves.
There is people we don't even know who was on those Appalachian Mountains hiking them. There is people that live off-grid for a reason. We have no idea how many people lived in those mountains. We don't know how many homeless people had camps set up in those mountains. I can tell you now, where I live, there was homeless camps set up all along the river. All along the river. And now they're gone. And we don't even know if the homeless made it out. We don't know if they're alive. We don't know anything, people.
You're hearing this, maybe if you've heard it for the first time, maybe you saw it on X. That's why I keep telling everybody, get on X. Get on X. Whatever you do, whatever you need to do, get on X. I've had many people already tell me, oh my God, Bear, I didn't know all this stuff was there. I didn't know it was a buffet of news. I didn't know that it was just a cornucopia of I got overload now. There's too much. There's just too much. I can literally find out anything if I'm clicking here, clicking there, searching there, talking to the right person. Just with the stuff I share, people go, oh my God, you got to be kidding me. Let me ask you a question. Have you heard much in the way of what's going on with Diddy? Have you heard much of what's been going on with the kids involved? You'll see it on Twitter. Some of it you got to make sure you understand who you're basically consuming the information from, because there are some conspiracy nuts out there. But when you find heartfelt, real information like this, you're not going to see this on the news. It's just not going to happen. They're keeping it from people because they can't possibly show it.
We don't know. You need to understand there are bodies washing up. This ain't a joke. There is counties in North Carolina that don't have enough body bags. They have already filled thousands.
It's tough to watch, isn't it? See, news that is real, news that's real is tough to watch. Because it is what it is. It doesn't come packaged for Jake Tapper to put a little snippet in and get back on camera and earn his $2 million per year. Hey, you know, he can't read that in a teleprompter. Oh, so tonight I want you to listen to this woman who has seen the depths of despair and everything that's going on in Western North Carolina. Ooh, they don't want you to see that. They don't even want you to feel that. Because right now as you're watching this, you're feeling it.
There is one county in particular, they've done filled 1,000 and they're begging for more because they don't have any more. Please do not compare this hurricane to Katrina. Don't even compare what Florida got from Hurricane Helene. Do not compare what they got compared to East Tennessee and Western North Carolina, because I'm going to tell you now, we're not the same. We are not the same. People have asked, why were we not prepared? You can't prepare for something that has never happened.
People say that. I've seen many people telling, you know, hey, wishing Robin and I, you know, hope you're okay for Milton, the hurricane that's coming across. Now understand, what she just said is absolutely true. We've known for 3 or 4 days now. Hey, listen, there's a hurricane coming from the Gulf. No matter how it got there, you guys prepared? Yeah, we're prepared. It's supposed to be 110, 120 when it hits the west coast of Tampa, and then it's going to come across the inland, and it looks like right now we down here in South Florida may be outside the cone. But even with that cone, once it hits Tampa, it's going to drop in severity very quickly, because once it hits land, as you guys know, it drops very quickly. Turns into, by the time it gets to Orlando, it's going to be a bad tropical storm. It'll probably be 75, 80 miles an hour. But most of the houses that were affected by previous hurricanes, Wilma, Irma, everybody else, they've been rebuilt. They higher standard of code down here. And you may lose some trees. You may lose some windows. You may have some very light flooding, depending how fast the storm is moving. And then a day, it's pretty much back to normal, except if you don't have any electricity. And the way DeSantis has it, most of that stuff has already been put underground. I doubt you're going to see many people without electricity for more than 3 or 4 days. Down here, we may lose electricity because they may cut it because of another area, which means if you don't see me broadcasting, it means we don't have internet or we don't have electricity. But we got food. We trust me, we got food. Robin went ahead, she stored up. I got a big old swimming pool, so if we need to, basically just chill out because it gets hot in the house, we're fine. It's October. It's not really, really hot. We'll be okay. It ain't nothing like what they're doing up in North Carolina. It's not even comparable. It's the neighbors here will all go walk out and we'll say, oh yeah, how's that doing? Did your car get hit or anything? Oh no, it's just some debris from the hedges or flowers or whatever. Because over here, if we stay out of the cone, we may hit gusts of 60, 65. Nothing really is going to happen at that point unless something flies into your window or your car. But you're not going to have dead bodies washing up.
It's the same as asking Florida, why are you not prepared for a blizzard? Because a blizzard has never happened in Florida. I am in Tennessee. I do not connect to an ocean.
If we get a blizzard down here, I'm going to be the first one to say that HAARP is actually true. Ain't no way in hell that Florida should get a blizzard.
There's no reason that we should have had that much damage. Have we ever been flooded by hurricanes? Yes. but nothing like what we just endured. You've got to understand, we didn't have an ocean that come in and then suck back out.
All of these people on this road here, anybody...
Yeah, our Florida soil drains off very fast because we're basically sand, and they are clay and rock. Yeah, she's spot on. It's crazy. If you love your country, vote for Donald Trump and vote for the people who are going to do something, not these limp-wristed rhinos that are in Congress right now. Nope. I never heard of an eye of a hurricane making it that far inland into the mountains. In fact, they always say when a hurricane's coming through, oh, it's going to get sheared. It's going to get sheared by the mountains. And then basically fragment, and that's what they used to say. Elon needs to corner the market on drones. Yeah, exactly. I agree. There was no way we should have gotten snow either, but the Texas freeze was real. Dane Parton said, Barry Harp did this. Okay. Like I said, I can't talk about it, but you guys can actually go take a look at it and see what you think. I don't put anything past the evil ones, the lizard people. Yeah, something's really, really weird. Something really weird is going on. They will start telling the lie about climate change. You know that's coming. You know all of this is tied into, oh, the climate. Yeah, okay.
It is alive on this road, which, by the way, I've heard social media saying like there are 8 dead in Spruce Pine. Maybe they have 8 confirmed bodies, but I have to tell you the truth here, folks. You can smell the bodies in certain places along the river. There were vultures out. They have marked, with they being the National Guard, have marked over 100 bodies in a 6-mile stretch of river.
6 miles. 100 bodies in 6 miles. Whichever county she's in right now.
Bodies, just where they think they are. You can't see them, guys. The bodies, the smells, the things are either buried in sand or they're up in the trees and they're crushed in sediment.
Just imagine that. Just imagine that sight, that smell. No, notice the news trucks aren't there. You haven't seen, hey, this is Jake Tapper, I'm on the ground. No, haven't seen it, have you? Haven't seen any of those remote newscasts. Nope. Why? Because there's bodies in the trees, bodies in the ground. You may be walking and trip over one, and then, oh my God, the stench. Unbelievable.
Chicken right there. You couldn't really tell. Like you'd smell something, or you saw flies.
Yeah. So
the National Guard. Is there a lot of National Guard helping right here?
There weren't at first. The first 3 to 4 days, we were down here by ourselves. We were helping each other. This entire thing got cleared to here by locals. The
first 3 to 4 days, we were here all by ourselves. Roy Cooper, what the hell? Why did it take you 3-4 days and having the locals clean stuff out before you sent in the National Guard?
Local farmer and our neighbors. The evacuations that happened on this road were primarily started by myself and my neighbors and the local farmers on this road. And then the National Guard got here the day before yesterday. I'm so confused on my days because I haven't had internet or Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Imagine what she just said. Days. At this point, they all run into each other. I don't have internet. I don't have Wi-Fi. I don't really have telephone service. I may not have eaten. It's just one day. I just need to get to the next day. That's what she's saying. I just need to, basically see if I can get to the next day.
But the National Guard did get here, and the National Guard, in collaboration with some fire and rescue folks, were able to help us airlift a 96-year-old couple that had dementia, and they needed to leave. They couldn't stay here. And so we were able to get choppers to them and get them out.
That's good.
But, people are still missing. They are now bringing in body recovery teams. Their goal is to specifically get and retrieve bodies.
check. That was a lady in the car who was talking about her canines. She was with the Coast Guard, how she has to basically take those dogs and go sniff stuff out.
So that they can get them to the medical examiner and check their teeth records.
Oh, when she said that, it broke me. Because you realize now, after 6 or 7 days in the heat, the buzzards, the other wildlife, the mud, the water, if you've never seen or had the misfortune of looking at a decomposing body, I haven't. My wife has, as an EMT. She used to be an EMT a long time ago. She would come home and tell me the stories. I'm like, stop it. I can't take it. So if you've never seen a decomposing body, you know, some people have seen decomposing bodies where people have passed on in their houses. That's a little bit different than somebody who's decomposed in the elements, with the buzzards, with other wildlife, underwater, under mud. Painting a picture for you?
So that process is really hard. And it's going to be really challenging. Like, a gentleman handed me body bags, which I had body bags in my car all day yesterday.
Why is this woman? Why is it her responsibility to go pick up dead bodies? I'm a neighbor, and you got people dropping off body bags. Here you go, Sheila. What do you want me to do with this? Go scoop up some bodies. This woman's going to need some professional help. Our government is doing nothing. Here's some body bags, like she's packing up a house. Go scoop up Fred. These people should pay for this.
And I had to explain to him something that had to be explained to me, even as a rescuer. When I watched the National Guard and they confirmed that the smells I had been smelling were most likely bodies, I was like, well, where are they so I can get to them? You can't get to them. They're crushed in debris. They're up in trees. They're under sediment. They're under sand. Unfortunately, it will be a very long time before you find all these people that are missing. And I haven't even had internet, so I don't even know what the number is. And they don't have a number here yet because we're still getting communication.
And where is here generally? Would you call this Green Mountain?
This is called Red Hill.
Red Hill.
That's called Green Mountain.
Okay.
But here's the kicker.
Listen to this. This blew me away. Listen to this.
The county line was the river. The river's way wider.
Yeah.
So we're in both counties.
Blood.
All right. So this gentleman here, he challenged me because this gentleman here caused me to do a whole lot of editing. He's a country guy. He's a big old country man, mountain man. And he's got some words for the government that these people might want to really listen to. This is the definition of F around and find out. You have put these people at the brink. You have put these people in a position where maybe you should be scared, Miss FEMA lady. Maybe your staff of soy boy hair bun wearing kids might need to be a little afraid. Because if they run up into a bunch of good old boys like this man, it ain't gonna be pretty. Is this what they were hoping to get to? Were they hoping to basically turn this into 1773, 1776? Is this where the government was looking to take us? Because when you hear what this man says and how he looks, I want you to just look at this man's face. Look at his fingers as he's talking. This is a man who has basically built his life in the mountains, who hasn't had to deal with any crap. He's got his corner of the world. He's lived it. He's farmed it. He's hunted it. He's fished it. And you would never hear from somebody like this. But now you've got these people coming off this mountain. And they have some words for the government. And these are some words the government ain't prepared to hear. So there's a lot of cuts. When you hear silence in what he says, it's because he had some very colorful language that I had to cut out. Listen to this. I'm not even going to put myself on the screen here. This man is going to talk for like about 90 seconds, and you're going to go, damn.
Sweat and tears. My life's been full of it. 7 days a week I work, daylight till dark, trying to make a better man of myself and trying to make a better life for those around me and those that I care for. And now I know that if you're watching this video, your life has been full of blood, sweat, and tears in your own right to get you to the point that you're at in your life right now. And now we got a group of politicians thinking that they're going to take our rights away, that our blood and our sweat and our tears, the same thing that this country is built on, blood, sweat, and tears of other men who gave their lives so that we could live a life of freedom and prosperity in what could be one of the richest countries in this world. But instead, we're watching our politicians bankrupt this country, give billions of dollars away offshore, while our people in this country go without water, drinkable water, proper shelter, homeless. We can go on and on. The corruption never ends. This country was built on blood, sweat, and tears, people. Our freedoms are in jeopardy. We're being attacked from within by our own government. And it's going to take blood, sweat, and it's going to take tears to regain what's rightfully ours, to cast this useless, corrupt government the out. Anybody that belongs to the World Economic Forum should be cast out from any type of government in this country and never allowed to participate there again. Go be a part of your club, you, but get the out of our country. Blood, sweat, and tears, people. It's time to start shedding it in order to keep our country and to save our kids from these foul monsters. I love each and every one of you.
You caught the end there. He talked about some Diddy type people in government. I wouldn't want to be someone who came up upon that guy and said, I'm from the government. I'm from FEMA with my little hair bun. If you thought your feelings were hurt by Trump's tweets or his Truth Social or what he says at a rally, if you think your feelings were hurt because of what Elon Musk may have said at the rally, if I got disconnected yesterday because of what Elon Musk said about the election coming up, if all that bothered everybody on the news today, if that just made people cringe because they could not believe that Trump was, the rhetoric is dangerous, you ain't seen nothing yet. That man told you the real danger. You have pissed off a silent majority of people who would never cause anybody any harm. They would just want to live their lives up in the mountains. They would go hunting. They would go fishing. And have a beer or two after work. Farm the land. They don't want nothing from you. And then they still paid you their taxes every single year for the sole purpose of, in case something like this happened, you'd be there. For the sole purpose, if there was an invading country, you would take care of it. And you just told a wide swath of people, not just in the mountains, but across the country, that you can't depend on the government. The same government who takes your money every 2 weeks. And now you got someone in office says that's just not enough. Now we want to take your unrealized capital gains and tax you some more. These people own mountain property. It's been handed down for generations. I told you my wife's father was born in the house he lived in. This is where America will break. You're seeing it happen in real time. There's only so much people can take before they say, I'm mad as hell and I'm not taking it anymore. I think we're there. That was just one guy, but I've seen grown men angry. There was this one guy, for some reason they banned him because he said, hey, everybody, I have 80 acres up here in Kentucky. Come on over, you can live on my land, pitch a tent, do whatever you need to do, live up here. Come off the grid. I got 8. And in the thread, there were other people saying, I got 50 acres, I got 40 acres, come on over. These people know how to survive. These people know how to protect themselves. The only thing they couldn't protect themselves was from a raging river that, God forbid, y'all had nothing to do with. And now you're insulting them by saying, here's $750 and go fill out this form. And here's some body bags. Go bag those people up. Are you effing kidding me? Are you serious? Is that the country you think we live in? These people have had enough. And it's starting to spread. I've seen it in my chat. People have had it. They're done. You might as well just go ahead and inaugurate Trump like next month. Because the more you do, the more people see you do, the more they realize this government isn't for Americans. If I'm still streaming right now, I think you know exactly what I'm talking about. That man said it all to me right there. He's sick of it. He's tired of this cabal, this World Economic Forum globalist stuff filled with people who he believes are taking advantage of 300,000 people that are missing, young people that are missing. We've had it. I said it yesterday. I went on a long monologue and I said, you did all this shit. And we kept saying, okay. You pushed the Transformers on us, right down our throat. Said, okay, we just don't have them up here in the mountains. We're okay. You brought in all these newcomers that many people said were doing weird stuff to wildlife. But okay. You shot Trump. And people said, okay. There's no more okay. We're done with okays. We are fresh out of okays. As I said yesterday in my imitation of the movie Pulp Fiction, we're a long way away from okay. And these people up in the mountains, they couldn't be further away from being okay. They'll get by. We know the country song by Hank Williams, Country Boy Will Survive. Doesn't mean he's forgetting. Doesn't mean he's laying down his arms. Doesn't mean that he's okay with what you've done. He's just saying, I'll survive. Now you got a problem. Now you've pushed people beyond what they're willing to take. Is this what you wanted? Were you hoping that people would rise up this way so you could declare martial law? Is that what you were hoping for? I don't think you want that. It may sound good in a war room or some sort of meeting where you're talking to other soy people who've got dementia or something. But in reality, is that what you really want? Because I can tell you right now, the brothers in arms are not going to turn on their own people. That is going to be a bridge too far, even for them. Sure, there'll be some knuckleheads that find the power intoxicating. And they're like, oh, so we can go ahead and take shots at regular people? But for the most part, you're going to see good people get angry very fast if you try that. And God forbid you play some shenanigans with this election. Everybody can see it right now. There's no chance this woman can win. Nobody wants her in. We all can see it. And you're pushing people way too far. And it's not coming back. At this point, you've crossed the Rubicon. These people are pissed. They've had it. And I just want to know if you've had it. Because in order for this thing to make sense and get people to rise up together, I can see what you guys have done with the donations. It's fantastic. I've been in contact with the people at Samaritan's Purse. Going to call them tomorrow and figure out how we can, transfer some of this stuff, make sure that they're ready for it. But the other part, being ready and being protected, and understand at any point this government it seems to be out of control. God help us. Military is on standby to deploy to Lebanon and Ukraine. The order to provide relief here has come from POTUS and Secretary of Defense. Satellite photos have surfaced that HARP frequencies guided the storm. Those of you who don't know about HARP, you need to jump off after I'm done here and go look on X where you can actually see that information without fear of, being taken off the air. Yeah, Tom, you're absolutely right. It is really becoming a real-life Hunger Games. It is. It is right now the Hunger Games. Those people in Western North Carolina and Eastern Tennessee, they are definitely experiencing the Hunger Games right now. Mainstream media is crap. Why isn't our military stopping this? It's because they're still saying they're following orders. They're standing down because they've been told to stand down. And it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. Are you kidding? Yeah, we need them in North Carolina. Yep. Even the military hates this administration. So yeah, that's why I don't think they can count on what they may think they can count on, if you know what I mean. I'm your Huckleberry, somebody said. Thank you. Buy True Social and Trump to the White House. Straight up Hunger Games. You guys are seeing it. You guys are absolutely seeing it yourselves at this point. It's crazy. I can't even believe what is coming out. I'm so pissed. People are saying, yeah, be pissed. Stay pissed. Because they're not done yet. That's the thing I think we all have to grasp, is that at this point they know she can't win legally. What exactly are they going to try? I don't know. I have no idea what they will try. But I know they don't want Trump getting in office any way, shape, or form. You are all beautiful patriots. Never cease praying. That is the answer. Pray, pray, pray. Yeah, get rid of the Red Cross. Don't even think about sending anything to them. Robin says, not my Robin, but another Robin says, HARP has been in Alaska for years. Chemtrails. Oops, that's another. If y'all don't know what she just said there, Robin Bird just touched the third rail. You guys might want to start looking that stuff up. Because people are going to tell you, oh, you got a tinfoil hat on. You're just like Alex Jones. Yeah, okay. Yeah, really? Mm-hmm. Peacekeepers from the WEF coming. Yeah, good luck with that. At this point, this live chat is more organized, compassion, informed than our Congress. Barry, this is what worries me, but I know God has this covered. Yeah, pray. You got to pray. And somebody posted Mountain Justice. Yeah, they are definitely underestimating people at this point. Definitely. I don't ever want to leave you with bad news. I know that video basically slid into a very dark place with that last guy. So I'm going to bring you back up before we leave. And that's his, go ahead and enter to win a hoodie at fanfareshop.org. And then tomorrow night at 7 p.m., I don't think there's any rallies. There's nothing that's been posted. Let me just double check real fast before I say this. Tomorrow's Monday. Yeah, we got the day off from Trump tomorrow. So at 7 p.m. tomorrow, we're going to give away like three hoodies. So go ahead and jump in there and enter to win. So try to uplift you. But if there's other stuff that you want to hear and you want to jump over on X, understand in the right hand there is that red pill. And some people will tell you it's crazy town. It's a conspiracy area when you take that red pill. Nope, it's not. You're going to find out some stuff, especially if you dig on X and follow the right people. You can tell when you're following the right people when they tell you, like, people like Laura Loomer is crazy. Maybe I should look and see what Laura Loomer's saying. Oh, this person or that person is crazy. Maybe you should look and see what that person's saying. I'm going to put together a list, and I'm going to make it public, of all the people, that I think you guys may want to follow and see what kind of information they put out there. I'll put it in, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow we'll do a Twitter X show. Would you guys like that? Would you like me to, Ashley, take a list of this? If you guys would like me to do but a show specifically on who to follow, what to look for, how to use Twitter, I'll do it if you guys want me to. Just let me know. And we'll spend an hour and we'll go through everything, and I'll show you different people's names, and you can see who they are and what they do and what their history is. And there's a lot of people out there giving you a lot of information, and they have nothing to do with the mainstream media. And I'm not even talking Fox. I'm not talking any of those. I'm talking people who dig, who have time, these people are godsends because they bring out so much information. So you guys let me know. I'm seeing a lot of yes. A lot of yeses. All right, so we'll do that. We'll go ahead and we'll dig into. I'll make that tomorrow. You guys all come back tomorrow, and we'll make that the show. All right, I'm gonna go get some dinner, spend some time with the wife before she goes to sleep. God bless, and pray for these people up in North Carolina and Tennessee and Georgia. You see what they're up against. And you see that they're just about at their wits' end. They're not going to take much more. Thanks for tuning in. Let everybody know. Tomorrow we'll talk about X. It looks like I'm seeing so many of you guys saying, yeah. All right, thanks everybody.